Trick Daddy once said he had to force Birdman to release artists, almost like holding Birdman's reputation at gunpoint. But Trick Daddy is not the only one who has spoken out. Over the years, some of the biggest names in hip-hop have accused Birdman of doing them wrong. From Lil Wayne's massive $51 million lawsuit to Rick Ross calling him a predator in his music, many artists have pulled back the curtain on what they say Cash Money Records really was behind the scenes. And the proof they shared was shocking. This is the story of what many call the Godfather's empire of broken promises. Brian "Baby" Williams, known to the world as Birdman, started Cash Money Records with his brother Ronald "Slim" Williams in the late 1980s. What began as a small record label in New Orleans quickly grew into one of the most powerful forces in Southern hip-hop. Cash Money helped turn artists like Lil Wayne, Drake, and Nicki Minaj into global superstars. The label made hundreds of millions of dollars and changed the sound of mainstream rap forever. But behind the shiny jewelry, luxury cars, and money talk, many artists say there was a dark pattern. Over and over again, people who worked with Cash Money claimed they were not paid the money they earned. These accusations go back more than 30 years and have never fully stopped. The story usually went like this. An artist would sign to Cash Money expecting fair pay, royalties, and support. Their music would sell millions. But years later, the money they believed they earned never showed up in their bank accounts. This pattern started in the 1990s with early artists like UNLV, who filed lawsuits. Producers who made the beats that defined an entire era said they were not paid. Artists who sold millions of records claimed they only received tiny amounts of money. The big question that has followed Birdman for decades is simple but serious. Did he build his empire by underpaying the very artists who made him rich? One of the clearest examples is Juvenile. His real name is Tyrius Gray, and he joined Cash Money in the mid-1990s. He became a key member of the Hot Boys alongside Lil Wayne, BG, and Turk. In 1998, Juvenile released the album 400 Degrees. It sold over 4 million copies and included massive hits like Back That Ass Up and Ha. Those songs helped take Cash Money from a local label to a national powerhouse. But despite all that success and money, Juvenile left Cash Money in 2001. He said he was not paid properly and had money problems with Birdman and Slim. Around the same time, BG also left the label, saying the same thing. These were not small artists. These were the people who built Cash Money's reputation in the streets and on the charts. Juvenile later started his own label, UTP Records, choosing independence over staying at Cash Money. What makes Juvenile's story even more important is what happened next. In 2003, he returned to Cash Money in a deal reportedly worth $4 million. He released Juve the Great, which went platinum and included the #1 hit Slow Motion. But by 2004, Juvenile left again, once more citing money problems. Years later, in 2014, he rejoined again under Rich Gang, saying they were older now and had moved past the issues. Another major loss for Cash Money was Manny Fresh. Manny was the producer behind almost every big Cash Money song during its golden era. He created the sound of the Hot Boys and the label itself. But even he walked away, saying ongoing money problems made it impossible to keep working together. When the person who builds your entire sound leaves because of payment issues, it raises serious questions. Other producers spoke up too. Bangladesh, who made Lil Wayne's hit, A Milli, said he was not paid royalties. Multiple lawsuits over unpaid samples added up to millions of dollars. Producer DVLP sued Birdman. Tyga sued over unpaid royalties. Jazz Prince sued over Drake royalties. One lawsuit after another told the same story. Then there is Trick Daddy. He has been one of Birdman's loudest critics. In a 2015 interview, Trick Daddy said Birdman was fake and more focused on image than real business. He accused Birdman of trying to be everything at once, CEO, rapper, ladies' man, and not doing any of it honestly. Trick also blamed Birdman for making beefs worse, including a short disagreement between Trick and Lil Wayne. These comments helped lead to one of hip-hop's most famous moments. In April 2016, Birdman stormed onto the Breakfast Club demanding respect. He repeated the phrase, "Put some respect on my name," before storming out. The moment instantly became a meme and damaged his public image even more. The very next day, Trick Daddy mocked Birdman on stage during a live show, copying how Birdman talked and playing his own song as a subtle diss. The moment made Birdman look thin-skinned and insecure. Trick Daddy also shared a story about bringing his group, the Dunk Riders, to Birdman. When Birdman refused to work with them, Trick showed up and demanded their release from the contract. Even after Birdman had already paid money, Trick said he didn't care. He just wanted his artists free. This story showed how frustrated many people were dealing with Birdman. But no story is bigger than Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was signed to Cash Money when he was just a child. Birdman called him his son. Wayne became the label's biggest star and made millions for Cash Money. But by 2014, things fell apart. Wayne said Birdman was blocking his album, withholding money, and refusing to release him. In 2015, Wayne sued Cash Money for $51 million. He said Birdman owed him millions in advances and royalties, including money for Thaw Carter V. He claimed Birdman took over $70 million from a $100 million Universal deal meant for young money artists. Wayne publicly said he felt like a prisoner. He wore F Cash Money clothing. Fans and artists rallied behind him. Things turned darker when Wayne's tour bus was shot at in 2015. While no charges were filed against Birdman, court documents named him as an uncharged co-conspirator. The allegations shocked the industry. The lawsuit ended in 2018, with Wayne reportedly receiving over $10 million and finally being released from Cash Money. Thaw Carter V was released that same year. Since then, Wayne and Birdman have slowly reunited publicly. They perform together. They hug on stage. But Wayne keeps distance when it comes to business. Fans still notice tension, including moments where Wayne cuts Birdman off on stage. Rick Ross also turned against Birdman. Once close friends, Ross lost respect after seeing how Birdman treated Wayne. In 2017, Ross released Idols Become Rivals, directly accusing Birdman of exploiting artists and producers. Wayne publicly thanked Ross for standing up for him. Birdman did not respond seriously. He dismissed it. Later, Birdman faced money problems himself. His mansion went into foreclosure. Contractors filed unpaid bills. The man who built his image on wealth was losing property. Through all of this, a pattern is clear. Juvenile left, BG left, Manny Fresh left, Wayne sued, producers sued. Trick Daddy demanded releases. Rick Ross wrote a diss song. Too many people told the same story for it to be coincidence. This is not about one misunderstanding. It is about decades of accusations that point to the same behavior. Artists came back for the music, the fans, and the legacy. But coming back does not erase what happened. Birdman may not deserve violence or destruction, but the court of hip-hop history has already decided something important. His success came at a cost, and many of the people who paid that price were the artists who made him rich. The numbers don't lie, and neither do the people who lived it. Hook Body each contains 700 words. Imagine building a house with your own hands. You lay every brick. You paint the walls. You turn it into something beautiful. Then one day, the owner changes the locks and tells you the house was never yours. That is how many legendary rappers say they felt after working with Birdman. For more than 30 years, Birdman was seen as one of hip-hop's biggest bosses. He wore diamonds on his face, drove the most expensive cars, and talked about money like it never ended. His label, Cash Money Records, changed music forever. It created stars. It ruled the charts. It made history. But behind the bright lights and gold chains, there is another story. A story told not by haters, not by outsiders, but by the very artists who made Cash Money rich. Juvenile, BG, Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Trick Daddy, producers, songwriters, beat makers. Again and again, the same people all said the same thing. We didn't get paid. That is where the problem begins. If one person complains, it could be a misunderstanding. If two people complain, it could be bad luck. But when almost everyone who helped build an empire says the same thing, people start to listen. Artists say they sold millions of records, but saw very little money. Producers say their beats were everywhere, but their bank accounts were empty. Some say albums were blocked. Others say contracts were traps. Some even say they felt like prisoners. The biggest shock of all came when Lil Wayne, Birdman's so-called son, sued him for $51 million. This was not a small argument. This was one of the biggest lawsuits in hip-hop history. Wayne said Birdman held his money, delayed his albums, and took funds meant for other artists. Fans were confused. How could a man who kissed Wayne on the lips and called him family do this to him? Then things got even stranger. Birdman stormed into a radio show demanding respect, only to walk out angry. The moment became a joke to the world. The powerful boss suddenly looked defensive, weak, exposed. Rick Ross then released a song calling Birdman a predator. Trick Daddy said Birdman was fake. Producers kept filing lawsuits. Mansions went into foreclosure. Bills went unpaid. Slowly, the image began to crack. This was no longer just gossip. This was no longer just rumors. This was a pattern. A pattern of artists leaving angry. A pattern of lawsuits. A pattern of broken relationships. A pattern of money problems following the same man everywhere. The question is not whether Birdman helped people become famous. He did. The real question is, what did it cost them? How many artists could have been richer? How many producers could have owned homes? How many families could have been secure for generations? This story is not about jealousy. It is not about canceling anyone. It is about truth. Because when legends speak, history listens. And when the same story is told for 3 decades, it stops being a coincidence and starts becoming evidence. This is the story of Cash Money. This is the story of Birdman. And this is the story they don't put in the documentaries. Cash Money Records started small in New Orleans during the late 1980s. Birdman and his brother Slim built it from the ground up. At first, it was just local music. Then everything changed. In the late 1990s, Cash Money exploded. Juvenile released 400 Degrees, which sold over 4 million copies. Songs like Back That Ass Up became anthems. The hot boys were everywhere. Cash Money went from the streets to the world stage. But while the music was winning, problems were growing behind closed doors. Juvenile later said he was not paid fairly. Despite selling millions, he left the label in 2001. BG left too, saying the same thing. These were not small artists. These were the foundation of Cash Money. Then Manny Fresh left. This was huge. Manny Fresh was the sound of Cash Money. His beats defined the label. When he walked away because of money issues, it raised alarms across the industry. Producers followed with lawsuits. Bangladesh said he was not paid for a milli. Other producers sued for unpaid samples. Tyga sued. Jazz Prince sued over Drake royalties. The list kept growing. Then came Lil Wayne. Wayne had been with Birdman since he was a child. Birdman called him family. Wayne made Cash Money more money than anyone else. But Wayne said Birdman blocked his album Thaw Carter V, refused to pay him, and controlled his career. In 2015, Wayne sued for $51 million. He said Birdman took money meant for young money artists and kept it. Wayne said he felt trapped. Fans supported him. Other artists supported him. Then Wayne's tour bus was shot at. While Birdman was never charged, court documents named him as part of the investigation. This made the situation feel dangerous, not just financial. The lawsuit ended in 2018. Wayne was finally free. His album dropped, but the damage was done. Rick Ross watched all of this happen. Once close to Birdman, Ross lost respect for him. He released a song directly calling Birdman out, accusing him of hurting artists and producers. Wayne thanked Ross publicly. Birdman brushed it off. At the same time, Birdman's money problems became public. His mansion went into foreclosure. Contractors filed unpaid bills. The man known for wealth was struggling behind the scenes. Yes, some artists reunited with Birdman later. Juvenile came back. Wayne performed with him again. But returning for music and fans is not the same as forgetting the past. Forgiveness does not erase history. When almost every major artist connected to one label tells the same story, it means something. This is not about hate. This is about accountability. Birdman helped shape hip-hop. That part is true. But so is the damage left behind. History does not just remember success. It remembers the cost of that success. And the voices of the artists tell us that the price was very high. When all the noise fades away, when the music stops playing and the headlines move on, one thing remains clear. History remembers patterns. And the pattern surrounding Birdman and Cash Money Records is too strong, too consistent, and too well documented to ignore. This is not a story built on rumors. This is a story built on voices, real voices, legendary voices, artists who helped build hip-hop itself. When Juvenile, BG, Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Trick Daddy, and multiple producers all describe the same problems, we are no longer talking about coincidence. We are talking about a system. For decades, Cash Money was marketed as a dream. Sign here, become rich, live forever. And for some, fame did come. The world saw the chains, the cars, the success. But behind the scenes, many artists say they were locked into contracts they did not fully understand, paid far less than they earned, and controlled in ways that hurt both their careers and their lives. Juvenile sold millions of records and still walked away, twice, because the money did not add up. Manny Fresh created a sound that shaped a generation and still felt forced to leave. Lil Wayne, the biggest star of them all, felt trapped by the very man he called family. These are not stories of failure. These are stories of success being stolen piece by piece. The most important thing to understand is this: success does not cancel wrongdoing. Just because an empire is big does not mean it is fair. Just because someone helped you rise does not give them the right to control you forever. And just because artists reconcile later does not mean the damage never happened. Forgiveness is human. Reunion is emotional. But truth is permanent. Birdman's defenders will say, everyone made money. But the lawsuits say otherwise. They will say, Wayne and Birdman are cool now. But peace does not erase pain. They will say, this is just how the music business works. And that may be the most dangerous excuse of all. Because if we accept that exploitation is just business, then it never ends. This story is not only about Birdman. It is about every artist who signs a contract without protection, every producer who trusts a handshake, every young talent who believes loyalty will be returned with fairness. Cash Money is not the only label with these problems, but it is one of the clearest examples of how power can be abused when no one is watching. That is why stories like this matter. Not to cancel, not to attack, but to educate. The music industry feeds on silence. It survives when people are afraid to speak. That is why lawsuits are rare, why artists whisper instead of shout, and why fans often never hear the full truth. But when legends finally speak, it is our responsibility to listen. This video is not asking you to hate Birdman. It is asking you to question the system that allowed this to happen. If you are an artist watching this, learn from it. Read contracts. Ask questions. Get lawyers who work for you, not the label. Ownership matters. Royalties matter. Freedom matters. Your talent is valuable, and no amount of fame is worth giving it away without protection. If you are a fan, understand your power. Streams, tickets, and attention keep the industry alive. Support artists who fight for independence. Support producers who demand fair pay. Speak up when you see injustice, even when it is uncomfortable. If you are part of the industry, remember this. Legacy is not just about money or success. Legacy is about how many people you lifted up without holding them down. Birdman built something huge. No one can deny that. But history will not only remember the empire, it will remember the cost. An empire built on broken promises does not collapse overnight. It erodes slowly, through lawsuits, lost trust, damaged relationships, and public reckoning. And while reconciliation may heal some wounds, it does not rewrite the past. The real lesson here is bigger than one man. It is about power without accountability. It is about talent without protection. It is about success without fairness. Hip-hop was born from struggle. It was meant to give voices to the unheard, power to the powerless, and freedom to the creative. When that spirit is betrayed, it is not just business, it is a loss of culture. So now the question turns to you. Will we keep celebrating systems that exploit creators? Will we keep ignoring patterns because the music sounds good? Or will we demand better? Because the legends have already spoken. The evidence is already there. And history is already watching. If you believe artists deserve to be paid fairly, share this story. If you believe contracts should protect, not trap, speak up. If you believe hip-hop should honor its creators, don't stay silent. This is bigger than Birdman. This is about the future of music. And the future only changes when people refuse to look away. Thanks for watching.